Hello, loved ones, family, friends. It's Cindy Galley here from A New Thing Live. And tonight is Let's Win Wednesday. Woo! So excited. Don't know for sure if this is going to be an every Wednesday thing, but we're going to definitely give it a try. Sometimes we hit that Wednesday and we just need that like over the hump or that midweek push. So that's what this is. And it's just also a midweek time of encouragement. Sometimes we just kind of feel like we're in a funk. Sometimes not even on a Wednesday, right? Sometimes it could be on a Friday, it could be on a weekend. And so the whole idea behind Let's Win Wednesday are just ways that we can be encouraged. We can encourage each other. So I want to hear from you. I see Kiri's here. Hello, Kiri. Welcome. Good to see you on here, girl. You're so awesome. So, crazy just with everything that's happening right now with the elections. Are still counting all of the ballots. But regardless of what side, whether you're left or right, again, A New Thing Live, we're just really here to promote unity. That's the heart of the show. And I just feel like there is enough bashing and anger and hatred to go around for days, months, probably even years. People I feel like they need a place where they can just come. And so we want this show and everything affiliated with our show to really be a safe haven. Of course, there's going to be times where we don't agree. We can just say, well, we agree to disagree. But really, this isn't a place that's going to be using anything as a punching bag. And really our heart is we just want you to have always like yes to the good vibes, yes to the motivation and all of that good stuff. That's what this show is all about. And I'm a firm believer, Proverbs says that death and life are in the power of the tongue, la lengua, the tongue, and those who love it will eat its fruit. And so we really should be using our words to build people up. And I am thankful for a freedom of speech like everybody else, but I do feel like sometimes people have used it in a way that's harmful and mean and degrading. And here's the bottom line, folks, as we together, we're mankind. We all have the same components that make up a human being. And so, my heart really aches and breaks when I just see a lot of the anger and the hatred and I understand, again, not everybody can agree, but really the heart of this show and Let's Win Wednesday is for you to feel like, wow, I really enjoyed that. Wow, I really felt encouraged by watching that. It's only going to be maybe 10, 15 minutes, depending on how much I talk. I do talk a lot. For those of you that don't know me, I won most talkative all 4 years in high school. And the weird thing about that, or maybe not weird, the ironic thing, is that when I won, I had nothing to say because I was in disbelief and shock. Really, the award, it's one of those, I don't know if it was necessarily a popularity, that we did have those too, but it was by vote. So it's not coincidental that I'm talking about this right now, but it was something that the whole student body voted on. And usually only juniors and seniors, usually only the upperclassmen are the ones that won those awards. And I was a freshman, and they called my name, Cindy Galley, as the most talkative. And I had to say, I literally was stumped and floored. And so, of course, the joke was, oh, well, what do you know? She has nothing to say. And really, I was floored. Now, I did win in my junior year and my senior year as well. And I know that I was not the most talkative in those years because I really worked hard at not talking. But hey, here's the thing. If you're talkative, then that's part of your gifting. That's part of who you are. So don't try to hold back or refrain. Now, of course, there is a time for everything. To everything, there is a season under the sun. And so probably talking in class is probably not the best use of the gift of gab. And also Proverbs says that in a multitude of words, sin is not lacking. So of course, Sorry. And I am my own camera person today. And so it's not going to look as great as it does for our show. And so, yes, I'm so thankful for our team. Kiri and Sonia, love you both so much. And just thank you for your faithfulness and doing what you do and doing it so well. But I just wanted to put that in there. But anyway, yes, so just a couple of things about me. I don't think that ADD or ADHD was a thing back in 1969. However, if it were, I would say that I do have a little bit of that attention deficit. So something might happen over here and it's like squirrel, and then I'm over here in this. So I'm going to do my best without my team here to really just stay focused and to stay on track. But really today is an introduction to Let's Win Wednesday. We want this to be a place where we're encouraging you, where we're saying you can do this, you got this. I just want you to know right out the gate, I am an ordained minister. So a lot of what comes out of my mouth is going to be the word. But you know, it doesn't matter if that's not who you are, don't turn that off and don't disregard. I want you to still be a part of these conversations. My heart is always to strengthen people, to encourage you no matter, you know, where you're at in life, no matter where your walk is. Like, I love people. I'm the girl who will meet you in an elevator and talk to you about whatever, your outfit, the day, your pattern, how you're doing, the weather. Like, I just love to talk to people, not just people that are my friends, but to me, everyone is a friend. So I want you to join us on Wednesday. So a couple of things, just so that you know, I'm on a current, no, it's not even a diet. I'll just have to say that right now I've just taken some steps in winning, because I'm realizing, or I realized through this pandemic, that I only have one body, just my body, just me right here. And so, man, I need to take care of it, right? And so one of the things that I started doing during this pandemic was just started to put more freshly squeezed juices into my system. And so I'm talking beet juice, I'm talking carrot juice. To me, it's one of the ways to win is really to watch what you eat and to take care. And they have all types of things. Now, back in the day, growing up, I was a fitness guru. You know, growing up, I was always athletic, was flag football, softball. I was a team captain. We were the Valley Galleys, and that may have been flag football. You know, I grew up going snow skiing and running. I went to San Gabriel Academy, which is still a school that exists in San Gabriel Valley. It is a beautiful school. I learned a lot of wonderful things there. And some of my dearest friends are from San Gabriel Academy. So if any of you are watching from SGA, shout out to you. Thank you for tuning in. I know sometimes you do jump in on my giveaways when we do those Monday night giveaways, which we will be having, I think, the second Monday of December. I'm going to have another giveaway. Not during a New Thing Live, but once we go off air, then I'm going to put my QVC hat on, and we're going to have so much fun. So I'll be sure to give you the date before we get off. But, okay, squirrel. Yes, athletic. So I loved athletics growing up. I loved running and skiing and playing tennis. My cousins, Priscilla and Percy, can tell you we played tennis at the community center in South El Monte. And that was just very much a part of who I was, you know, and then of course I got all into the aerobic thing. And I want to say my gym, I can't remember the gym that I was a part of. It doesn't even exist anymore. I know Jacqueline Lane was the one that my mom went to, but I can't remember the gym that I went to. And then in college, I was a cheerleader at Rio Hondo College, RHC. Yes, the runners go, runners go. So I loved being active, but I don't necessarily want to say that I ate well. I think I was the girl who would have that Diet Dr. Pepper with Doritos, or a Diet Dr. Pepper and a granola bar. I stayed very, very thin, but I was not healthy. And then somewhere in my 30s, I remembered reading a book called God's Way to Ultimate Health. and by Dr. Reverend Malcolmus. And this book, I read it from beginning to end. It was a big book, like 8.5 by 11. I want to say that either the distribution or the name of his organization or ministry is called Hallelujah Acres. And this book talked about everything. Like, it actually turned me into becoming vegan for a while because they really went into detail about everything that happens with meat that we eat and with the milk that we would drink. And I've never been able to consume milk. Like, it doesn't do well with me. So then I swung to the other side of the pendulum, and it was like, oh, everything green and everything fresh. And, I just want to rebuild my cells, and anything that's dead food. I didn't want anything to do with it, which for me was bread, pasta, rice, nothing with life in it. So of course the things with life are the things that you would see maybe from Mother's Market or Sprouts, the greens, the beets, the carrots, just all of that the fresh veggies. So I won the longevity award when I was in graduate school because I would talk to everybody about, oh, you got to watch what you put in your body, and not in a condemning way. But I just feel like, come on, let's put what helps our body create that environment and that atmosphere to be able to heal itself. Because I would read another book and it would say your body really, God created the body to heal itself, but a lot of times we don't give it the right conditions to be able to do that. So, also, I would drink faithfully this green powder called barley green, which I would say and I would drink it with lukewarm water. So it would taste like I was drinking lake water or mud water. But I got so used to it, I stopped gagging. And I know that I have some friends that they tried. I'm like, you have to try barley green. And they were like, oh, no, I gag on that. And I feel like one of my former roommates is on here right now. And I think she was one of the gaggers. I won't call her name out. But it was one of those things where I did it faithfully. And even in all the way to graduate school, I would be running. I would run 3 miles a day. I think the most I ever did was 6 miles, and I love doing 5Ks and all these things. But then, you get to a certain age, and then I was in graduate school. You get so busy. And that last year, I just kind of let things go. I was, working at a restaurant, a really good Italian restaurant by the name of Zio's Italian Kitchen in Tulsa, Oklahoma. I still love that food. Anytime I go to Tulsa, if I'm there for a week, I'm eating at Zio's 5 of those 7 days. Okay. So any of y'all in Tulsa, Dallas, that whole area, Oklahoma City, get to Zio's. Their artichoke spinach dip is bomb. Their linguine with grilled chicken. Oh my goodness. That EVO was like with a lemon zest and flavor. It was so good. Their chicken sandwich was so good. Their spaghetti tom with meatballs. Of course, working there, you have all those little, their Alfredo sauce was amazing. Their Parmesan crusted chicken. I mean, that food was so good. And actually working there is what kind of steered me away from having that longevity frame of thinking and that way of thinking, that way of life. And I started going, well, I can eat chicken. Because I started to say at some point, I don't want to, if it had a head and it was once alive, I don't want to eat it. So I did that for a good year or so. And then I was starting at Zio's, and then it was like, oh, I need to have this. I need to have that. And so, of course, by the time I graduated from graduate school in Tulsa, Oklahoma, Oral Roberts University, shout out to ORU, I had put on so much weight and I wasn't running anymore. I wasn't working out. And then just, after that, it just kind of continues. If you don't take the time to stop and to evaluate, like, okay, where am I at? And how did I put on all of this weight in X amount of, years? Then you're just going to keep going down that road. And that's what happened for me. And so until somewhere in my 30s, I was like, no, we're done. I need to go back to how I used to eat. And so I, kind of swung back on that whole side again, and then started eating, fresh fruits and vegetables and eating good, and no rice and no pasta and all of that. And so I feel like now I'm somewhere right in the middle, but I really, during this pandemic, I started to feel really kind of miserable, and I started to go to bed not feeling well, and just really just started praying and asking the Lord, like, what is going on? And I just felt like it was gallbladder related. And I used to have gallbladder problems back in the day. And I actually did a gallbladder flush. I don't know if any of you have ever done that, but it was, and I'm not saying that you need to do this, because I did it under very under care and with supervision. But it was just drinking olive oil and lemon juice, and there was this whole thing that I did to prepare for it, including taking some of the I guess not really vitamins, maybe they're herbs that would even fight things like parasites, because they say, well, if you have gallbladder issues, you probably have, parasitic activity happening in your body. I think we all have parasites anyway. Ew. But so I did this for 30 days. It was like maybe black root this, and it was maybe dandelion. I can't remember because it was so long ago, but I did all of these things. And then I actually ended up doing a natural gallbladder flush. And again, I'm not saying to do this. This is what I did for me and what I felt I was supposed to do for me. And felt so great. But, sometimes you just forget that, oh, that's what I used to have. And that was an issue that I dealt with. So fast forward now to the pandemic. And so all of this, I started to not feel well again. And so, some of the ways that I have been winning has been in my eating. And I've really just changed my eating habits. And it's been amazing. I really did say, okay, Lord, give me the strength to eat and to put in my body what I feel like is good for my body. And I know there's so many different theories. Some people have, they have the blood, whatever blood type, they eat according to their blood type. And then there's the other camp that says to eat according to your body shape and all of these things. But for me, I just went to the Lord and just said, I really need you to help me determine what needs to be placed in my body. And so that has been one of the ways that I have personally been winning, is just putting what's good inside my body and drinking a lot more water, because I would say that most of my consumption up to that point daily would be coffee. Of course, I still do coffee every day. But then it would be like soda. Like I was a soda freak. And I totally had forgotten that even when I was in undergrad, I would drink so much soda to help me stay awake and to help me to study and not fall asleep. And then I remember having all these horrible heart palpitations. And I was like, what is going on? And I would say, the word says that, by the stripes of Jesus, I am healed. And then I'd be like, so my body needs to, come in alignment with that. And then I would still have these heart palpitations. And the whole while I was just hearing that still small voice telling me like to cut back and ease up on the soda and the caffeine. And I wasn't correlating the two. And when I finally decided to do what I was sensing, about a month went by and I realized, I have no more heart palpitations. And then it dawned on me. It was the correlation between all the soda. I would have the 32 ounce on the way to work in LA. I'd get to work in LA and I would have my coffee. For lunch, I'd have another 32 ounce of Coke or Pepsi. And then I would have another cup of coffee when I came back from work. And then I would get home and my then roommate and we would have a case of Pepsi in our fridge at all times, a case. So I was just drinking this nonstop. Oh my gosh, I can't even believe it. So what is one of the ways that you can win health-wise? Is there something that your body has been saying, like, ease up on that, or don't eat that, or don't drink that? Or sometimes you just tell people, oh, I know I shouldn't drink this, but, oh, I know I shouldn't be eating this, but. So what is that thing for you? I'm going to encourage you to take that time just to think about it. You may already know what it is. Maybe for you, it's French fries. Maybe for you, it's a lot of bread and a lot of butter, all that stuff. I loved it. I love to eat, and I love eating good food. To me, it's like, okay, I'm already 51. So I just feel like life's too short to put like bad tasting food in your mouth. So if it doesn't taste good and I don't like it, I won't eat it. unless it's something that somebody made for me, then of course that's a little different. You want to be kind and respectful. So what is one way that you can win in terms of eating? I want to encourage you with that. I want to leave you with that. And really just really physically. So now for me this week, I feel like one of the ways that I can start winning is going to be to start walking. Now, I love running. I miss running so much. Sometimes I see people running and my heart just goes, I miss that. But to be quite frank, I don't think I'm ready to start running tomorrow. Even if I were to jog, I think it would be more like a fast, brisk walk. So one of the ways that I'm going to encourage myself to win now is to add walking to what I'm doing. So maybe for you, it's walking. Maybe for you, it's dancing. I remember there was a season of my life, I would just put on the funnest music I could find and I would dance away in my room. And I remember dropping about 10 to 12 pounds in like 3 months and nothing changed eating wise, but I was just dancing and moving. So maybe that's something you can do. Really, I was talking to a sister, in the Lord today, and she lives in Michigan. She attends the Rock Church in Michigan. Hello, hello. And she was just saying, really working out should be something fun. It should be something you enjoy doing. And so, I tried doing the circuit, that fit training. I don't know what you call it. Some of you might know what it is, but oh yes, I see ice cream yum and cutting back on the carbs. Yes, Justine, you remember I was in so much pain. Oh my goodness, but that flesh did work. So thankful for it. But it's not cardio. It's the fit thing. Maybe Kiri, if you're still on, maybe you can write down what that is. But I tried doing this type of workout, and it's where you're kind of using your body, circuit training, but that's not really it. I love Pilates. That's one of the things I do love doing. And it just wasn't for me. And I did it because I committed to it. But I can tell you, I despised going to this. In the mornings, I was committed. I had people to be accountable to, and that's going to be the third way you can win. But we'll save that for a minute. I despised this. I was like, in the morning, it wasn't worth it to me to go at 6:30 in the morning. And I just did not enjoy it. So I would say, if you feel like exercising is something you need to start incorporating back into your lifestyle, then do something you enjoy doing. Do something you enjoy doing. So for me right now, it's going to be walking. I'm going to incorporate walking back. And so that's one of the other ways that I'm going to be winning. So I'll be videotaping some of my walks. You'll hear me being out of breath, but it's okay because we're real and we're in it. Yes, CrossFit. Thank you, Kiri. Oh, CrossFit is not for me. It's like, I'd rather get 10 shots in needles in each arm. Seriously, I don't like CrossFit, but there are some people who love it. And a lot of my trainers, that's what they did and that's what they excelled in. Now, there were other things that they had us do, and I was like, this I like, and this I could do. So if you're going to start exercising, do something you enjoy doing. So for me, that's brisk walking with some good music, so I can either pray or just, help that time go quickly. And that would be dancing. So for you, it might be something else. And thirdly is community. Do you have a community? Is there a community that you are a part of? So like A New Thing Live, this is a community. And I'm just excited about, some of the feedback we're getting and a lot of the messages we're getting. And I just want to thank you for responding with just love and support. And of course, feedback. Not all the feedback has to be great because we always want to be better. But being part of a community, having your squad, having your tribe. There's a tribe that I'm a part of, at my church, and 614 tribe with Pastor Monica and with Kim Messinger and some of these amazing women who really hear from the Lord. And then they just come and they're like, boom, they're just strengthening us. And our classes are kicking off again. For those of you that are single, I'm a single woman, and I launched a series, a curriculum that I designed and produced called She is Single, She is Strong. That's a community. So be a part of a community. Whether I know I have some friends that, have been, they walk in freedom from alcohol and from drug addiction. And so their community is AA, and they're faithful. They go, every morning, or one of them goes and she's like, oh, I'm at this class every Monday night. And so, if you don't yet have a community, find a community to be a part of. That is a definite way to win, because then you have people that you can be accountable to. And so I would say community/accountability, but then I would say accountability, because that in itself doesn't just mean that you have to be accountable to to the whole community. But is there a person that you can be? That's my alarm letting me know that I have about 5 to 10 minutes left. I'm gonna shoot for 5 minutes. But being accountable to someone that you can be totally raw and totally bare with, that's someone that that's not going to judge you, but who's going to love you for you, but also who's going to tell you the hard things that you don't necessarily always want to hear. The word says that the heart is above all things, it's deceitful. So sometimes we can encourage ourselves to think, oh yeah, I'm good with this. This is the direction that I'm going in. And really, it's not the direction that you're supposed to be going in. For example, I'm just going to say it. If you're married, the direction you do not need to be going in is going after another married person. That person's already married. And I speak as a child who came from a broken home because of adultery. That is not ever okay, and so if that's a situation that you are in, and because somewhere deep down in there, this doesn't quite feel right. Maybe you're thinking, oh, but he makes me feel like this, or oh, she makes me feel like that. But deep down inside, there's a warring. In the depths of your soul, you're feeling like, there's something a little bit uneasy about this. That's because you shouldn't be doing it, because that person has already become one with another person. So you need to stay one with one person, with your spouse, and that person needs to stay one with their spouse. And if you're not married and you're dating a married person, then you need to just everything in you to say, you know what? This isn't for me. This is not something that I should be doing, because it rips the family, and then there's all this residue. And of course, God heals, God restores, God redeems, but that's if you allow him to do and to be all of those things in your life. So I'm just using that as an example, but being accountable. So, I have people in my life that I am now accountable to help keep me in check. Again, you're not telling this to 30 people, maybe not even 10 people, but it's people that you trust with your life and with your whole heart. And you're able to share, these are some of the thoughts that are going through my mind. Maybe you're dealing with unforgiveness and you say, I'm having a difficult time forgiving a person. And so having that person, because really we shouldn't have unforgiveness and we shouldn't have hatred towards anybody. Some awful things have been done to me. 51 years old, I'm bound to have some awful things be said and done to me. But my responsibility is not to hold on to the grudge. My responsibility is not to walk in unforgiveness. No, it's to forgive. Again, death and life are in the power of the tongue. And so using it to build up, using it for kindness, using it to speak words of life, using it to give people positive words of affirmation. Tongues were never meant to pull people down. Yes, to speak your thoughts, but not in a way that's venomous and hurtful and just mean and hateful. So, who are you accountable to? That's one of the ways that you can win. And then I'm going to leave you with this. Today I was just reading in Jeremiah 29. It says, "For I know the thoughts that I think towards you, says the Lord, thoughts of peace and not of evil, to give you a future and a hope. It doesn't stop there. It says, and you will call upon me and go and pray to me, and I will listen to you. And you will seek me and find me when you search for me with all your heart. I will be found by you. This is one of the ways, this is the key way to win, is to really call on the name of the Lord. Call out to him. We're never meant to do life by ourselves. And if you think you're the exception to the rule, you're not. We're meant to do life together in community. This is why animals who don't have as much wisdom or knowledge or insight, they know how to travel in packs. They travel in herds. And like we're higher than an animal, but I'm just using them as an example that we are not meant to do life alone. And sometimes, things that we go through will put us in a little corner by ourselves, and we will want to isolate ourselves. And I think there's something to be said, of course, about reflecting, having time to grieve, having time to mourn in those right occasions. But really, we're meant to do life together, and together we win. And remember, according to 1 Corinthians 13, is love. Love covers a multitude of sins, and love conquers all. Love never fails. So those are my ways to win this week. And they might be some of the recurring ways to win in the next time. Again, I'm not 100% sure that we're going to do Let's Win Wednesday next week. But if we do, I will be here hopefully right at 7. I was trying to get on and do everything the way that my wonderful team does. So I really do need my team, but I just want today on our Wednesdays just to be comfortable and have your coffee, have your tea, and let's talk and let's be real. Let's see. I'm going to just kind of read some of the comments real quick to make sure. Yes, Kiri said, we have to protect and take care of our bodies. We only have one. Such a great way to win. And let's see what else. Kiri said she enjoys doing yoga, Pilates, and Zumba. Zumba, that's fun. So let's see if there's any more. Justine says, you always walk in victory when you put your mind to it. I believe you will see the fruit of this season. Oh, you're so sweet, cheering me on. Thank you so much, Justine. So that was Let's Win Wednesday. I hope that this time together encouraged you and that you do feel a little bit strengthened. Again, this is not for you to feel condemned. And I was just using some examples of things that I've walked through and using examples of why accountability is important. I didn't even plan on sharing that, but I did. So I probably shared that because there's someone who needed to hear that. So it doesn't apply to everybody, but thank you so much for watching. Thank you for joining us tonight on Let's Win Wednesday. And still, no matter what the results of the election ballots, when they're all done being counted and all is said and done, God bless America. Love you all, and see you next Monday night on A New Thing Live. If you haven't yet subscribed, head over to our YouTube channel. Just do a search for A New Thing Live talk show, and then click that subscribe button. And of course, the little notification so that you know, excuse me, so that you know when we are live, but it's Monday nights at 7 p.m. on Facebook and on YouTube. Have a great week. Email us at hello@anewthinglive.com. We love hearing from you. If you have any needs or prayer requests, we want to be able to pray. Our team wants to pray with you and for you. We're here for you. We are cheering you on, and you got this. Have a great Thursday through Monday, and we'll see you on Monday night on A New Thing Live.